Madam Speaker, Honourable Senator.
This time last year, I asked us to take a few minutes to think about Jimmy Lai, a champion of democracy and freedom of the press in Hong Kong, who has strong ties to Canada. Sadly, since then, Mr. Lai's political motivated persecution has continued unabated. In December 2025, he was convicted by a special Hong Kong court on charges under the national security law, legislation used to silence those opposing the views of Beijing governments in Hong Kong, ending the one country, two systems promised to the UK at the time of retrocession. This February, Mr. Lai, 70 years old, was sentenced to remain in prisons for an additional 20 years. This March, he did not appeal, convinced that it will not change anything. Now, he remains in solitary confinement in a cell without even a view of the outside. Given his worsening health, there is a risk of a premature death in prison. In these circumstances, we must support the Raoul Wallenberg Center for Human Rights in Montreal in its efforts to have him released before it is too late. Indeed, the G7, UN experts, and many other leaders and groups are watching and calling for his release. Colleagues, let me conclude by referring to Vladimir Kara-Murza, who was persecuted in Russia for daring to promote democracy and was released in 2024, further to international pressure. We met a few weeks ago, and he told me about the strength and courage that statements and calls for his release from around the world brought to him alone in a cell located in an isolated part of Russia. Today, I want to make clear to the Beijing government that we are still standing with Jimmy Lai and that our calls for his release will continue to resonate this summer and beyond until Mr. Lai is free. Merci, thank you, Megwish.